Welcome back, guys, to Tech Abroad. Today I've got something a little bit special from Feiyutech. I contacted them, asked them to send me one of their MG Lites so I can do a review on, and guess what? It's here, and I cannot wait to open it. You know, I've seen a bunch of stuff from them from CES. I've played with it a little bit, not too much, so I wasn't really sure on how this thing would actually perform. Hopefully this will be a game changer for me, because especially with YouTubers and vloggers and stuff like that, a lot of them use Joby Gorilla Pods. Now, don't get me wrong, Joby has done an amazing job with the Gorilla Pod, but I mean, as far as eliminating whenever you're walking, the shaking from that, or just trying to get the right angle on certain points, you can't. I think this is going to pick up where Joby loses his game, you know. So hopefully we can get into it, and let's see how it does. Now, as you can see, you have everything that you would need for a gimbal. You've got the handle, the charger, the gimbal setup itself, and also 4 batteries. Now, I do know that this gimbal here only takes 2 batteries, so you got 2 extra to just keep on charging. So let's say you're shooting and you need to do a quick swap out for batteries. It already comes with that, so you don't have to buy those separately. I will admit that getting this gimbal on the first time with your camera is it's kind of a tedious process, especially it takes a little while to get used to, because you know, you're getting all the measurements, basically aligning it and balancing it in the first time. So that's going to be kind of new. But I will admit, about the second or third time around, you kind of get used to it, so you know about where everything needs to be, so you can get the balance perfectly. Now, there are a couple complaints. I'm using the Canon DSLR, so that means that my battery and SD card is at the bottom. This is also where the plate completely takes up at the bottom, so that means I cannot access my battery or SD card, which is a problem for most, because you can't swap your battery out if your camera dies very quickly. You have to take it all the way off the gimbal. Now, that is something that I do not like, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Now that the videos are side by side, you can see that the Joby Gorilla Pod is no match for the Feiyutech gimbal. The Gorilla Pod is shaky and a poor quality video, but on the other hand, the Feiyutech is steady and a beautiful video. Joby has a lot to learn from Feiyutech. Alright guys, I would actually like to show you how long it actually takes to put the DSLR camera on the gimbal set. You know, it's definitely not the quickest thing that you can do, but you know, the benefits from actually doing it is just far too great. So let's get into it and let's see how long it actually takes me. And there we go, and you can actually see how well it is capable of taking it and keeping it still, you know. Of course you're not moving this radically with it, but still, even though that I'm doing this, it's still keeping it pretty smooth and able to keep the camera in the spot. Alright guys, I actually have to be honest, this has to be one of the best things I have ever gotten from my DSLR. You know, I'm always hiking, so I'm bringing it up in the hills and trying to get those nice, beautiful shots while I'm walking up the hill and going up different rocks, and this completely eliminates it. Now, it does become kind of a drag because how bulky it is, but it's really not that big of a problem. Now, what does kind of aggravate me is how long it actually takes me to put on the gimbal. But after it's on, you don't have to worry about it coming off or losing anything. And some cameras nowadays actually have the ability to transfer all the pictures and video without having to take it off the gimbal, and it just does that wirelessly. Now my camera works with an SD card. But overall, I still love this thing, and I think anybody should get it, especially if you're just now trying to start into getting the video. Alright guys, catch you next time.